I welcome you to my YouTube channel. Okay, so if you are new on this channel, you welcome. Okay, and if you are also an old subscriber, I will say thank you for coming back. All right, so please stay glued to this particular channel. My name is Edward Amwako, and what I do on this particular channel is to provide you a tutorial video like what you see on your screen. All right, guys, so in today's tutorial we're going to learn on how to design a classy and catchy birthday flyer like what you see on your screen. All right, so this is a very simple one that I designed for a very friend of mine. All right, so guys, a link will be in the video description to have access to the resources. I'm not going to give out the picture, but I'm going to give you the font. I use only 2 fonts for this particular tutorial. All right, so stay glued and let me show you on how to design this. So let's start. Alright guys, so you're welcome. So here is it. So the first thing that we have to do is to create our document. Okay, so for the short form of creating a document is Ctrl N. Panel like this is going to pop up. So what you have to do is to change the size. Okay, so it is already on pixels. We are designing for social media, so we are going to get 1080 for the width, 1080 for the width, and then the height is also going to be 1080. The resolution is 300. Okay, b-day means birthday. We are designing in RGB because we want it to, we are not going to print it for the guitar. The background, any other thing is okay. Go ahead and click on create, and there you go, you have your document. So Ctrl O to zoom to fit the screen. So let's activate our rulers. Click on these calibrations over here where you see the numbers. You right click it, and then you can change the unit measurement. So you set it to percent. I'm leaving it to, or 10%. Then this one too, I'm leaving it to 90%, and then the vertical also 10, and then this aspect too is going to be 90. So I want my design to be in this middle. Alright, so over here the first thing that we have to do is to set in our date and then also the happy birthday. Very simple. So what you have to do is, now you can decide to bring in the image first. Okay, so let's go back to where the image is. I said I'm not going to give out the image. You can use your own image for this particular tutorial, and then you can send me on IG. So I'm just dropping in the picture. So once you drop in your picture, very simple. So you can import picture by just go to wherever your picture is, and then you can drag it to Photoshop directly. Okay, so this image is facing right. I want it to face left, so you see the edges over here. If yours is not showing, just come to make sure that you've selected your move tool, then come to the option bar here where you see the show transform control. So you see, if your show transform control is not ticked, you will not see the selections. All right, good. So you click on any of the edges, you right click to have these options, then you flip horizontal so that it will face the left. So what we are going to do next is for us to click this to accept. Then I'm going to rasterize this particular image because it is a smart object. I want to edit this. I want to take off the background, so I'll right click it and then rasterize. Then go to my properties. Okay, or if your property is not showing, just go to window and then look for properties over here. Click this and your property panel is going to pop up. Quickly go here and then go to remove background. You click on it, and then within some few minutes Photoshop is going to remove the background for you. So absolutely beautiful. So Photoshop has done the work for us. Okay, now so I don't need this property panel, so you click this 2 arrow, it is gone. Then let's zoom in. Now if you take a look at this picture very well, you could see that where the dress is over here, you could see some red color over there. That means that some of the background were not properly removed. So let's go and select this particular 1 2 3 4, the fourth tool, right click it and make sure that you select the magic word tool. Then you go, make sure that your caps lock is off. Then you click on this part, the red part that you don't like. Okay, just make a selection over there and then you delete on your keyboard. Control D to deselect. Alright, so that we have our background nicely removed. So control minus to zoom out, and then I'm going to position this image very well. So I'm going to stretch it a little bit, something like this. Alright, so I'm going to position it here. Okay, so let me bring it somewhere here, which is quite okay. So you could see I want the head to touch my ruler or my guide. Double click to accept. Then you could see that I did a bit small settings to this particular image. Alright, so what I'll do next is to, you could see that I've selected only the cut off. So click on this image before we do that. So go back and then let's reduce the, okay, so let's increase the, let's give it a contrast, and then let's reduce the brightness a while. Alright, so I think this is okay. Alright, so I'll go and then click OK. Alright, so the next thing that we are going to do is for us to bring in our text. Alright, so go in for your text. Then the font that I use for almost all of them is Bebas New. Bebas New. Okay, so I'll change the color, pick the color from the dress. Don't worry, we'll change the color. Alright, and then let's type happy birthday. Okay, go ahead, and then please, when you are dealing with text, always try to activate your character. Okay, so if your character, this one is not there, just click on this particular thing over here. Alright, click this. As soon as you see the character, you can just move it around. Okay, alright, so let's bring it here. Alright, go and select your move tool. Then if your character is not showing, just come to window and then look for character. Here is it. Alright, so you could see the VA here, meaning the spacing of the happy birthday is -25. I want it to be 0, and then set the AA over here to auto. We'll still do some changes although. Then I don't like this particular size of the font, so I'll increase the size of the font to something like this. So you could see the happy, the birth, and then the day, there's too much spacing. So come to the AA here. Okay, and then we try to control it. Alright, so that means I can just click here and drag it forward. Okay, yes, I think it's too much. Okay, something like this is okay. So let me stretch it out to increase the font. Okay, so something like this. Double click to accept. Let me close the gap still. Alright, so I think this is beautiful for me. Okay, beautiful. So you can see from over here that it's beautiful for me. So what I'll do is to bring it down. So what I'll do next is to change the color of this particular birthday. But yes, we can do some settings. You can see the happy, the spacing between the letters is too much. So let me come to the VA, and then you can set it to -25 still, so that you can close the edges. Then you can stretch it out just to increase the size of the font. I think this is okay, so I'll leave the font to 40. Let me type in 40. I think 40 is okay. Okay, good. Then what we are going to do next is to change the color of this particular birthday. So come to the layer panel down here, go to FX, and go to gradient overlay. Your layer style is going to pop up. Then we are going to change the color to yellowish color. I'm going to give you the color code. So let me give you the color code. The first is this, which is FB6104. FB6104, and then the second one is going to be FECA1E. FECA1E. So once you click on this, make sure that the style is set to linear. The angle is 0. Okay, any other thing we are okay with it. Go ahead and click OK just to have this. So the next thing is to bring in this particular date. So this is how we do it. Go in for your shape tool, and then you draw it. Now you could see that I didn't make the that particular shape covered the whole happy birthday. So you close it something like this. So I think this is okay. Then go and change the fill color and then pick this particular color. Let me give you the color code 004C0 004C0. Okay, so I think this is okay. Then still on that particular shape, come and select my text tool. Now I'm going to type in the date 17th of June. That is the date that he celebrated. I mean, you can change the date and then write in on the date that you think, any other date that you want to. Okay, so once you're done typing, bring it on top, then resize it. So double click and then let's go and change the color to white. I mean, I still want to adjust the shape. I mean, I could see the shape is too big, so let me bring this one here. Yes, I think this is okay. And then let me control it. All right, let me select the shape again. I think this is okay. Then let me select control, select this, the date, and then the shape, and then align everything. Okay, then I'm going to still open up the font for happy birthday because I still feel like it's too small for me. So let me make sure that it's big enough. Okay, so something like this. I think this is absolutely okay. So the next thing is for me to bring in this particular, pointing to this direction that he is the one celebrating the birthday. Okay, so still on that, so go and select my ellipse, and then with the ellipse I'll pick this particular color. Okay, so let me give you the color, or you can pick any of the colors here. All right, use this color picker. Here is it. Click this and then choose the color from here. Okay, anyhow you want to, or any color that you want to. Then you draw an ellipse shape very nicely like this. Then go and select your move to resize it to a reasonable shape, something like this. Press enter to accept, control plus to zoom out. Then what we are going to do is I'm going to draw a triangle, but I will not select the shape. I will select this particular image, go and right click and select the rectangular shape, change the color to white. Okay, and then you press on shift and then you draw your rectangular shape. Okay, so you see it is not showing, so let's select and then move it. It is not showing, so let's come to the layer side and look for the rectangle, the triangle, and drag it on top of the ellipse so that it will show up for us. Then what are we going to do? We want the triangle to face my right, so click on any part of the edges. Okay, right click and then you set it to rotate to 90 degrees clockwise. All right, good. So you resize it to a reasonable size that you think it is okay. So come and take this, meaning I'm okay. Then I'll select the two, which is the triangle and the ellipse, and then align everything like this. So let's select the image and see how it looks like. So that is it. All right, good. So this is what I want. I can even press it forward just for it to be like this. So absolutely beautiful. So the next thing that we're going to do is to bring in this particular shape where we have the name on it. So this is how we're going to do. Now I want us to do some groupings over here. So I want you to pay attention to how and wherever that we are doing. So let's click on this particular image, Control O to zoom out, Control minus to zoom out, Control plus to zoom in, so that we can see whatever that we are doing. Go and select your right click, pick the rectangular tool, and then draw your shape. Very nice one, like this. Okay, good. Now because the color is white, that is why we are not seeing. So we are going to give it a gradient, but this time around we are not going to use the fill color. Okay, we are not going to use any of these fill color. All right, So we are going to use the FX over here to give it a gradient overlay. So click this, go to gradient overlay, and what you are going to do is to change this color gradient to, I'm going to give you the hash code, this particular color. Don't worry, I'm going to give it to you. So let me give you the first color, which is 041574. That is the color code, 041574. And then the second one is 02A DCA. Now somebody will ask, how and where did I get the color from? I got all the colors from the image. Okay, so if you look at this particular side of the gradient, I pick it from the dress, the inner, and this deeper side I pick it from the suit. You see that? So you could see that this particular color, which is the happy birthday, I pick it from the face. You can see the face has this particular color, so that our colors and everything will match with the image. You get it? So once we have this particular, so I don't like this particular rectangle and how it is being done, so I'm going to curve one edge of the rectangle. Okay, so what I'll do is that go to your property, and then once your property pops up, make sure that you click on this part, which is the adjustment, where you are going to change or do some justice to the edges. Now you see this 1 2 3 4 shapes edge that you see. The first one is for this part, okay, the down one is for this edge, so any part of the edges are here. Now this particular thumbnail is on, that means that anytime I make a change, you could see that it has affected all the four corners. So let me drag it back to 0. So what we are going to do is that make sure that you take this, so that whatever changes that you will do will appear to only one part of the edge. So click on this particular thumbnail, click this, so that there wouldn't be any tick. So we want this part, this particular edge, to curve. So we're going to click on it, and then let's set it to something like 90. Okay, let's set it to 90. So I have something beautiful like this. Then I do now need it again, so I click on these two arrow so that it will be here. So anytime I need it, I'll just come back and then do some justice to it. So this is what we are going to do. Reduce the opacity to something like let's reduce the opacity to 80, okay, or 90 if you want. Let's reduce the opacity to 80, so that I'll have something like this. Alright, don't worry, we can do some justice to the picture, don't worry. So let's shift this up a little bit, or you can bring it down anyhow you want it. Okay, yeah, so that is it. So I want to shift everything over here, so let's select the date, select the rectangle, select the triangle, select the ellipse, select the birthday, select this particular shape, and let's bring it up. Okay, I'm just shifting it up a little bit, okay, to have something like this. So I want the dates and everything to be in line with the head. Okay, yeah, so select the date, select the shape, and then shift it up a little bit. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to align the shape of the date, the birthday, and then the this rectangle, this one, and align everything at the left. Okay, it's already aligned, very beautiful. Okay, so I can see that some spaces between the happy birthday, so you can close it out using the AA. Okay, once you click this, I mean everything will close up for you. Let me shift this up a little bit, okay, so that I have something like this. It's absolutely beautiful. So what we are going to do is to bring in this name, Reverend Dennis Paul Awotwe. Alright, we are going to use the same font. So let's go and select this 17th June, Control J. Control J means that you have copied the layer. Okay, so let's bring the copied one on top of this particular rectangle. Double click, and then let's type our Reverend Dennis Paul. So let me check the name. Is it Dennis Paul? Yes, Dennis Paul Awotwe. Dennis Paul Awoche. I believe you are learning a lot. So at this venture, please, if you have not subscribed, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. So once you are done typing, you could see the text is too big for us, so we are going to click on any part of the edges to resize it. Okay, something like this is okay. Double click this. We are going to copy this again, and this time we are going to write what he does. So he's an author. Let me control plus, and then for us to have a clear look at it. So he's an author, a certified master coach, and digital marketing manager. Okay, so he's an author. He's also a digital, so certified master coach, and digital manager. So what I'm going to do is to resize this. It's too big. I'm going to resize it. Then I'm going to change the b bars. Okay, so go for your character, because I told you that anything related to text, even if your tool is not on text, your character works. So if you have followed me a very long time, you can see, so I'm changing it from that of the board to something like book. Okay, or let me pick regular. Yeah, regular is okay, and then I can position it. So let me select these two and then make sure that everything is aligned. Now I want us to do some groupings here. Select the name of the person and then the title. So let me bring the title very close to, yeah, so something like this. Okay, good. You could see the shape is, if the shape is too big for you, you can go ahead and resize it. Yeah, yes. So let's select the shape, select the author, and then we can align everything at the center. Then we can group the shape, the author, and then the name together. I love grouping a lot. And then you can name it as, let's say, name, so that you won't get confused. You can also select the date together with the shape, and then you can group it and call it date. Alright, then group this particular rectangle. You can just leave it like that. Select that one together with the happy birthday, and then you can name it as happy. Okay, you can just give it a name, like happy birthday. Alright, the reason why I love grouping a lot is, it helps me not to get a lot of layers over here. So we are just some few minutes click to go. So let me bring the image up a little bit. Now there's this small settings I want us to do to this particular image. So what we do is I'll go to filter, okay, and then let's convert this particular image to smart filters. Okay, so I'll press on Ctrl O so that everything will fit like this. So this is absolutely beautiful for me. Then we are not done. You can see from here I have wishing you blessings, prosperity, and long life. Okay, so the font that I use for this particular, the name is also still big. I can go ahead and reduce it if I want. Let me bring it up a little bit. Then I can select the happy birthday. Have you seen the essence of grouping them? Yes, so that you will not struggle a lot. Then I'll go and select this text and change my font to Montserrat. Okay, Montserrat, here is it. Alright, then with the Montserrat I'm going to pick the regular. Alright, I need the regular. Okay, don't worry, I will change the, so I'm going to write wishing you blessings, prosperity, and long life. So you can see I'm not seeing the text because it is white. The background is also white. I'll click on this check mark, come to the font size over here, and then set it to 10 or something. Then let me change the color to black so that yes, I'll see it here. Then go and select your move tool, and then you can now move it. So you can see here. Alright, so this is what I want us to do. Let's resize the font and then double click to accept. Then the spacing between the wishing you blessings, prosperity, and that of the long life, there is too much space here. So go to your character and then use this AA here, set it to auto. Yes, and then you have something beautiful like this. Okay, so let me increase it to this side and bring it up here. Okay, we are getting closer to the end of the video. All right, good, beautiful. So that is it. So you see, yes, our work is becoming work. So what I'll do is to now want us to select everything including the image and bring it down a little bit. I mean, it is too much, it is going up too much. So let me bring it down, I mean, to the middle. So yes, something like this. I think this is okay for me. All right, so the next thing that we are going to do, let me shift this image up. So the next thing that we are going to do is to add a bit of some brightness to this particular image. All right, but before that, let's click on this particular. So you see Control O. So you see this particular long rectangle over here. Let me double click and then you see the color code FC417E. You can just even copy it. Alright, so I'm going to show you how I did that. So I will select the background, go in for my rectangular tool. Once you select your rectangular tool, just make a selection over here. Okay, so you are going to draw a rectangle. Then once the rectangle pops up, you can see the fill color is white. So just use this to change the color. Click here and then you can just come here and then change the color. So the color code is FC417E. FC417E. You put it there and then you have your beautiful color like this. Good. So the beauty of our work is now coming up. Okay, so what we'll do next is to, you could see I have the image over here, this particular image at the background, and then there is a Dennis at the background. So let's do that one quickly. So I'll still select my background because I want that particular image to be on the background. Then I selected this image. Okay, bring it to Photoshop like this. Control O to zoom out. Then I'm going to enlarge this image. Okay, like this. Okay, so I think something like this. Then let me enlarge it again. So I'm going to have something like this. Okay, so double click to accept, and I'm going to rasterize this particular image that we brought at the background. Right click it, rasterize, and then go in for my eraser tool. Okay, so once you select the eraser tool, you have your settings here. You can just go ahead, set the hardness to 0, and then you can control the sizes. Okay, now if you see something like plus, it means your caps lock is on. Turn it off, then you see your brush. You can also increase your brush using the bracket on the keyboard, I mean the one on the letter side. Increase the brush a little bit, then you brush it off. Okay, so we're going to get something like this. All right, so this is it, and I'm going to reduce the opacity of this particular image so that it will be like a blending on the background. I think something like 20 won't be bad. Okay, that is absolutely beautiful. Then still on this particular image, I'll go and select my text tool, the font to Monstrat, and with a Monstrat I'm going to pick bold, or you can pick, I mean, extra bold, and anyhow you want it, and then go and change the color to black. All right, then I'm going to write the first name, which is Dennis. All right, then go and select my move tool, bring it here. Then what I'm going to do is to click on any edges, or you can just bring your mouse cursor close here. You can see that the mouse cursor has 10. Then you click and rotate it. Okay, you rotate it something like this. You can even check the number here, so you can see I have 90.0. okay, so here is it. Then you're going to increase the size of the font. Okay, very beautiful. So I have something like this. Then bring it here, double click, Then you can reduce the opacity to 15, yeah, so that the dennings will be like on the background. Very beautiful and nice. Now the last thing that I will do is to click on the happy birthday. Then we are going to add a layer. So what we are going to need next is to just bring some kind of flashy in it. So add a layer 2 on top of the birthday. Okay, then go and select your brush tool, not eraser tool, brush tool. Okay, your caps lock is on, that's why it's always plus. Turn it off so that you have something like this. Then we are going to change the foreground color, because if I make the brush, you can see it is black. Ctrl Z. The reason why it is black because my foreground color is black, so I'll turn it off and then pick the color here, the deep one, which is okay for me, and make some kind of brightness over here. So I have something like this. Go and select my move tool, and then still on that particular layer, change from the normal to soft light. Okay, and then let's move that brightness off from the image. Okay, so if I have a design like this, I believe it's okay for me. So you can see this is the original work, and this is the one that we just designed. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, so please try your hand on it. If you don't need this particular shape, just click the eye, then you can have something like this. Or if you want it just to add a bit more of some brightness, you can do that. Okay, so please don't forget to like the video and then subscribe, and try to recommend someone. Okay, recommend someone to come and then watch this. So once you are done, what you have to do is to export your work. Export means that you want it to be in a picture form. So what you have to do is to come to file, come to export as we want the format to be on JPEG, and then I'm changing my quality to great because I always love sharp images. Okay, alright, so you change the quality to great, the size and any other thing is okay. Then you export, you click on export, then you are going to give it a location. Okay, so I want it to be on the desktop, so B day, click OK. So let's go back to our desktop, and this is our design. So let's double click it to have a look of our design. So this is our design, absolutely beautiful. Let me enlarge it. So here is it. So if you're able to design something like this, you can just send it to a friend of yours. Try your hand. Practice makes man perfect. I mean, we are not perfect, we are still in the process of learning. Alright, so please try your hand on it, and then you can send it to me on Instagram. Okay, a link will be in the video description link of my Instagram page for me to review it for you. So let me end the video here and see you. Bye.